Every single moment of your life, whether you're aware of it or not, your brain is responding to the world. And the thing is, most of this happens automatically, way below the surface of your conscious thoughts. So in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly how that happens.
It could be something as simple as a sound, right? A distant siren, that little ping from your phone, or even just the hum of your computer.
Or maybe it's something you see, an image that flashes across your screen, a face you recognize in a crowd, the color of the sky.
Or how about a smell, like fresh coffee brewing or rain hitting hot pavement? All of this information is just constantly flooding your brain, and it's processing it all in real time. But here's where it gets really fascinating. Why is it that you feel that jolt of fear, or that wave of calm, or that pang of nostalgia? Why does that hit you before you can even form a logical thought about what's happening? Well, that's exactly what we're here to figure out. To really get this, we have to start with the spark, that initial unbelievably fast reaction that's happening deep inside your brain. So any stimulus, and I mean anything from the outside world or even just a random thought, it doesn't just light up your whole brain at once. Nope. Instead, it triggers a very specific dedicated pathway of neurons. It's kind of like flipping a single switch on a giant circuit board. And that flip of the switch kicks off an immediate chain reaction. First, the stimulus is detected. Second, the neurons in that circuit fire off a super fast electrical signal. And third, at the very end of the line, that signal causes the release of chemical messengers called neurotransmitters. It's this cool electrical to chemical handoff.
And get this, the most incredible part? This entire process, from start to finish, happens in less than 1 second. That's faster than you can blink. It's faster than you can form a word. Your brain isn't waiting around for you to logically analyze the situation. It's already reacting.
Okay, so remember that chemical release we just talked about? That's where the feeling comes from. That's the foundation of these internal states that we've labeled as emotions. I like to think of it like two completely different chemical recipes. On one hand, a stimulus that feels safe or rewarding might trigger a flood of things like dopamine and serotonin. That's what creates that feeling of pleasure or ease. But on the other hand, a stimulus that feels like a threat, that kicks off a release of cortisol and adrenaline, getting your body ready for high alert.
But it's really important to remember this isn't just a simple on or off switch. Your emotional state is the result of a super complex pattern, like a unique chemical cocktail that's being mixed in real time. And it's this dynamic pattern that influences how you actually feel, and ultimately what you do next.
Okay, so we've established these reactions are automatic. But are they just hardwired from birth? Well, not entirely. Your life experiences are constantly, and I mean constantly, shaping and rewiring these automatic responses. This whole process is called conditioning. Every single time you have an experience, you're either creating or strengthening a link between some stimulus and an internal response. The more you repeat it, the stronger that connection, that neural pathway becomes. And understanding this is the key to, well, everything from building good habits to overcoming deep-seated fears. I absolutely love this metaphor. The very first time you encounter something, that neural pathway is like a faint little path in a dense forest. The 10th time, okay, it's becoming a clearer trail. But by the 100th time, forget about it. You've paved an automatic 8-lane superhighway. The signal just flies down that path instantly with zero effort at all. So what does all this automatic stuff mean for our conscious experience? For things like memory and self-awareness. This is where we connect the automatic brain to the one we think we know. We usually think of memory like it's a video file, something we can just press play on. But as this quote points out, that's a huge misconception. Your brain isn't just watching a movie of the past. It's doing something way more active.
What's actually happening is when you remember something, your brain is reactivating the very same neural patterns that fired during the original event. It's mixing that same chemical cocktail all over again. And that's why a memory can literally make your heart race or bring a smile to your face. You aren't just remembering the feeling, you are, in a very real way, feeling it again. So let's wrap this all up with the big takeaways. First, and this is huge, your initial reaction to anything is automatic. It's all chemistry and conditioning. Second, your conscious mind, your awareness, it only catches up after the reaction has already started. Third, memory is not a recording. It's a reactivation of a past feeling.
And finally, and maybe this is the most powerful one, your life experiences are constantly reshaping the very lens through which you see the world. And this brings us to one last, pretty deep thought to leave you with. If that first lightning-fast response is completely automatic and totally outside of your direct control, where does your choice, your free will, actually begin? It might just start in that tiny little space between the first reaction and your very next action. Definitely something to think about.